Hello, hello. It is another Wednesday, and welcome to the Wait, there's no L today. It's just the S show today. Lane is on a well-deserved little break with his family, and I am here solo and want to provide value and information for you today. In the spirit of the month where we're talking about green and clean, be sure you check out last week's show where we talked about cleaning up and cleaning out. We talked about shredding, e-waste, how to just generally do kind of a massive spring clean on your home. But then today, I want to take a tip from my Around the House with Scott series, which if you like our channel, you can check out Around the House with Scott and watch those videos. Every week, I post something different, tips, tricks, and hacks for living better inside, outside, and all around the house. My passion, call me a little bit OCD, is keeping things clean, tidy, neat, a place for everything and everything in its place, if you will. So right on today's show, we're going to talk about some of my favorite things about spring cleaning and just everyday, weekly maintenance on your home. If you're like me, you're busy, you're crazy, you've got life, you've got kids, you've got activities, school, work, etc. Isn't it nice to wake up to a clean house and come home to a clean house every day? And some of our habits that we do just on a weekly basis and even on a daily basis are going to help us maintain that clean, fresh home that we like. So Stipa, let's pull up that first banner and let's go ahead and just use that as my outline. We're going to talk about my favorite ready-made cleaners and why I love them. Now, cleaners come into two categories. These are the naturally derived, uber super safe cleaners with no artificial chemicals, dyes, etc. They're on one end of the spectrum. Then on the other end of the spectrum, you're going to have, some of the more commercially made cleaners that have, dyes in them. They're blue, they're yellow, they're green, what have you. I'm not a chemist, I'm not a scientist, and I'm not going to make a judgment one way or the other. I'm just going to talk about some of the cleaners that I find I like and use around my house. And I'm kind of a hybrid. I use all different things depending on my mood and whatnot. The main thing is I want things clean, fresh, and of course, in the climate we've had in the last year, uber super sanitized. And as we move forward, I want your interaction, please. If you've got a tip, a trick, a question, please enter it in the chat box below. Let's get started. So the kitchen's the heart of the home, and everything in the kitchen could technically be a food preparation surface if it's a horizontal surface. I am a huge fan of the seventh generation brand of cleaners. One reason why I like this particular disinfectant spray is it's safe for food surfaces. So many of the things that we use will deodorize and sanitize, but you've got to then do a rinse. Not so with the seventh generation. Why I love this is I can, before dinner, before I'm going to prepare a meal, I can spray down the whole countertop with the light mist of this. I walk away in 10 minutes, it's dry, there's no rinsing needed, there's nothing, and I'm ready to go. I can, prepare my hors d'oeuvres on the kitchen counter, I can do whatever, and I can know with confidence that it's super clean. Now, the seventh generation line of products is very highly regarded. There's a whole bunch of different ones out there. This is just kind of my go-to, and I got to tell you, this little can has lasted me for over a year already, so I think value is definitely there. One other thing, for some of you that are sensitive to smell, this one does not have a perfumey, again, artificial odor, which a lot of the sprays do to make it a little more palatable to the nose. This might be a little off-putting to some. So one tip I have is you might want to give it a little bit of time to dry before you come back in and start working on your kitchen itself. My second favorite, we're going to switch to the other end of the house, which, let's talk about it, the bathroom. No one likes cleaning the bathroom, but we all love going into a clean bathroom, and there's nothing better than just feeling that you're in a comfortable, safe place when you've got to do your business. I tend to like the Method line of cleaners for my bathroom, and they have a huge line of different products. They're readily available at our big box stores and supermarkets and so forth. They're a little pricier, but again, I think the value is there. They last a long time, and a tip is you can also buy a bottle and then get some big refills for them if you want to stay super organized. I tend to not be that way, and I don't have a big house, so I'll spend a little bit more and just buy a bottle, and when it's used up, it's used up. But back to the product itself. The Method Antibac, this is the antibacterial spray. I like the bamboo scent. I've been using it for about 5 years. I find it's a very light scent. It's not overpowering at all. It's not floral. It's not medicinal. It seems to be just right. I think the Lysol, to me, which I think is an awesome product, is a little bit too, hospitally, if you will. And again, I love the Method Antibac. They've got a lavender one. They've got a whole bunch of different ones. I use this one to spray down the countertops. I'll use it. I have one sitting, by the commode use it to spray down the toilet, take a quick wipe with a cleaning cloth once in a while. Again, this is not to take the place of what I would call my weekly deep cleaning, which I have my own method of how I like to do that. This is one of those products that I just love to have in there. A guest can use it. It's just really, really nice. And another tip with regards to this is I'll generally have some of the kind of the diaper wipes, the baby wipes, if you will, not the antibacterial wipes, but just the baby wipes kind of handy in the bathroom as well. So someone can grab one of those, they can do a quick wipe down, they can spray this, use the wipe itself then to finish things off, toss it in the trash, and it's kind of one and done, and it's really great. Now, sometimes when you need to scour and you need a little bit deeper, but you don't want to risk scratching your metals and so forth, Comet Ajax might be a little bit too abrasive. I recommend trying Barkeeper's Friend Cleanser. I've been using this for, I'm going to say 20 plus years now. It's a staple in the house. I've got a can of it in the kitchen. I've got a can of it in the bathroom. I've got a can of it in the garage. Tip, it works great on your tires. If you get some scuffs on any of your tires, your bumpers, etc. in the car, it's a great product. Now, always read all the instructions on there. They always say, test in an inconspicuous area first. You want to make sure that you're not going to be scratching anything. But with the Barkeeper's Friend, I find that it just is an amazing product. It works as well as the more abrasive cleansers. It has a very, very mild scent. If anything, I use it comfortably on the stainless steel in the kitchen sinks. I use it in the toilets, in the bathroom as I need to. I use it on the kitchen, on the countertops. I can even use it on polished chrome, and it just shines things up beautifully. It can also make a paste. Sometimes I'll have like a little mildew spot or something in a corner or a little crevice of grout or something. You can use a little bit more of the powder and create a little bit of paste if you want. Hey, I know we're rapid fire today. Again, keeping things clean is near and dear to my heart. Second, probably only to selling real estate. So I appreciate what you're doing here. Again, I want to remind you, if you've got any questions after the show, make sure you contact us. We're happy to follow up in any way we can. I've got so many more resources to share. So my other favorite product around the house, and then we're going to move on, is just having a generic cleaning duster spray. You see these sprays all over the place. You can get them readily at Home Depot, Office Depot, Staples. These are just great for all those little nooks and crannies. Our keyboards, our remote controls, crevices inside our computer and television monitors and stuff. I love having this product around. And I got to tell you something else. I keep it in the car. We're talking spraying and clean around the house, but for folks like us in sales, we tend to live in our cars as well. This is indispensable to keep your car kind of free of dust in between the big washings and detailings. So that's just the tip of the iceberg for what I love. I hope I'm creating value with these products I like. Let's get on to the next slide. My indispensable cleaning tools. So let's talk about that. We've just talked about the products I like, but a product is only as good as how we apply it. You're always going to read different things about, on the products. They'll say spray lightly on a cloth, do this, do that. The go-to, of course, is the Microfiber Claws. They're readily available, again, at your big box stores, Home Depot, Costco, in bulk. I've not found any discernible difference between the higher quality, higher priced, if you will, microfibers found at the more kind of gourmet-ish stores versus the ones you buy in bulk at the big box stores. I find keeping them clean is key. They say that the ability to pick up the absorbency, if you will, the microfibers does deteriorate over time with lots of washings and dryings. I do tend to dry them just on a really low heat on a time cycle, and that seems to keep them pretty nice. I wash them pretty much separately, and I usually will just do them kind of on a perma-press cycle, so I'm not using hot water. But again, depends. Sometimes you will want to use that to sanitize them. So speaking about hot water, the other tool that I really like is just old cotton t-shirts. Take old undershirts. If you've got kids, babies, you're going to have probably white cotton t-shirts that are left over. I don't ever throw mine away. I just cut them up. I use those as my go-to cleaning cloths as well, and I comfortably bleach the heck out of those to keep them clean. So those are kind of tools, but kind of not tools. I'm going to talk to you now about my favorite actual tool in the house, and it's the mighty toothbrush. When I discard my toothbrush every few months from the medicine cabinet, no longer needed for my teeth, I have an arsenal of these that I use for cleaning. And I got to tell you, this may seem odd, but there is nothing better to get into a crevice than a toothbrush. And I'm just going to share with you a couple of spots now where I find these toothbrush indispensable. The little crevices inside your light switches, no matter what type of switch you have, whether it's the Tocora, the vertical rectangle that kind of plugs up and down, or a little old switch. You've got nooks and crannies in those light switches. And what I'll do is I'll just have a little bit of my homemade cleaning solution, which we'll talk about later. I'll dip my toothbrush in it, and I'll just lightly scrub around these areas, and man, the dirt just lifts off. And then I can take my cotton towel, my t-shirt, and just kind of dry it off, and it's great. Another spot, again, we're getting nitty gritty. Hey, if you're okay, do I have permission to, be frank and be candid with you? I hope so, after all these years working with many of you. When we're in the toilet, there's nothing better than this to get in those little nooks and crannies, right where the hinges are, at the back of the bowl where the toilet seat connects. There's absolutely nothing better than to just saturate this with your cleaning solution, squish it in there. Again, you're in a wet area anyway. Squish it in there, scrub, 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 and you're going to see just the little bits of debris and stuff just kind of come right out from that, and then you're ready to just wipe it up. Of course, depending on your preference, there's all different types of gloves that you can use when you're cleaning to keep your hands safe and comfortable, and of course from getting any chemicals on them. But I got to tell you, the toothbrush has so many uses, and if you can come up with more, please let me know. I even keep one in the car for some of the nooks and crannies in there. My other favorite cleaning tool along the lines of the toothbrush for less intense jobs is the paintbrush. I didn't bring one with me, but I like a really soft bristled paintbrush, and I use that when I'm dusting to get into some of the nooks and crannies. Again, where the keyboard meets the monitor on my laptop, where it folds up, for example. I keep one in the car as well for the air conditioning vents and so forth. If I'm at a stoplight, I'll grab my paintbrush, and I'll just kind of go up and down inside along the vents and along the console and everything. So toothbrush, paintbrush, indispensable. And I've got 100 different uses that I haven't even thought of today. My last indispensable cleaning tool that I'm super excited about are the sponges. Now, these are, and for the life of me, all of a sudden I can't remember, and I don't have my script with me. If you just Googled Smiley sponges, you're going to find these guys. There's a whole variety of this brand of sponge out there, and they have all different thicknesses, all different uses. There's even a multi-pack that I buy that gives you one sponge that's better for cold, one sponge that's better for hot water, and even one that when you immerse it in hot water, it changes consistency a different way than if you immerse it in cold water. And I find these guys really good for scouring pots, for any of my harder surfaces. They've got a little ridges on the sides. These guys are just amazing. And again, I'm going to put some homework on you. If you just Google smiley face or happy sponges, you'll find these. They're readily available at stores and online. And again, I'm a cleaning freak, so it's my happy place. I also like smiling a little bit, someone smiling back at me when I'm cleaning. It makes me feel like it's not such hard work and drudgery. So there you have it. Those are just some of my favorite little indispensable tools I like. So we've talked about now some of my over-the-counter products that I like, ranging from super, super clean and natural, to a little bit more commercially derived, to the tools I like to use to clean. Now let's get to the next slide. What are we going to talk about next, Deepa? Aha, the essentials for making your own DIY cleaning products. So depending on where you are with convenience versus complete control over all your ingredients, I'm kind of in the middle. Sometimes I'll grab my products that I told you about that I like. But if I've got time, there's a lot of things I like to do DIY. There's some amazing essentials that you need to have around your house for making your own cleaning products. And these things are easy to get. They're cheap. My biggest favorite is white vinegar. And you can buy that in giant, big, I think, 2-gallon containers at some of the big box stores. I keep it around, and when we get to our last slide, we're going to talk about some of my favorite products and why I like vinegar so much. So I think vinegar is an essential. Baking soda is also an essential, and that's very available. Don't think you have to just buy those little boxes and stick them in your fridge, which like our mom and our grandma told us about. You can buy big bags at some of the bigger stores as well and have your baking soda on hand. Also, I like essential oils, and we'll talk about that as well. Those are the oils that you put in your diffusers, your lavender oils, your eucalyptus, your lemon, your peppermint. There's so many different uses in the health and beauty world for essential oils. And for not too much money, you can get a kind of a multi-pack of those, and they're probably going to last for years. So vinegar, baking soda, and essential oils. And then, of course, I like lemons, and I've got a lemon tree out back. Lemon to me is miracle cleaner additive for everything. So that's it for my favorite essentials that you want to keep on hand. And there's another one that's going to kind of surprise you as we get to our last slide, and that's actually vodka. And I'm not talking that you're going to be wanting to have a cocktail while you're cleaning, but if you've got vodka at home, it's going to help you make one of my favorite products. So let's move on to that last slide where I'm going to tell you about my favorite home cleaning products. This is like the bonus part of the show. So if you're still with us, I am super excited to share my favorite 3 home cleaning products. And I use the vodka to make my own dusting spray. Forget the N-Dust with the list of chemicals that's this long. Sorry, the folks that make N-Dust and pledge. But all you need are 3 cups of water, a cup of vodka, and about 10 to 20 drops of your favorite essential oils. I'm a big kind of mint fan, so I actually have a spearmint flavored essential oil. I take my 3 cups of water, I mix the vodka up in that, my essential oils, put it into a spray bottle, and I'm going to digress. That is one of my other favorite things to have around the house, along with my toothbrush, are the spray bottles. And I don't like the big giant ones. I get the small ones. Rite Aid has a really nice little one, or True Value Hardware has a nice little small bottle. And I like to use those so my stuff stays kind of fresh, and I'm not storing a big unwieldy bottle of something. So back to my dusting spray. I call it my taste of vodka, my cocktail dusting spray. I want you to try that. It's so easy. It's not going to cost very much if you happen to have some vodka at home. Make up a bottle of that, and then you're just going to spray that on your microfiber cloth and use it instead of whatever product you've been using to dust with lately. I do caution you, please do your research. Make sure you check your the compatibility with your wood furniture and so forth and so on. We have all different kind of surfaces out there, from man-made products to natural woods and so forth. One note, quick footnote, I want to go back and tell you my smiley face sponges are Scrub Daddy. So just make sure you look for Scrub Daddy. There's a huge line of those products. They're highly reviewed. I love them. So let's get into my second favorite product, which is a natural rinse aid for my washing machine. I'm not a big fan of the rinse aids, the fabric softeners that just smell like perfumes and are so flowery that it's, my clothes don't feel as fresh as they would. But what I do like is to make my own rinse aid, and this is so easy. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes right over here. And to make a gallon of this, all you're going to need to do is have some water. Actually, I'm going to look at my notes here really quick. Bear with me. Yep. 1 gallon, excuse me. This is where my white vinegar comes into play. Once again, what I love. My white vinegar, a gallon of white vinegar and 25 to 30 drops of essential oil. You're just going to add that oil to the vinegar. This is so easy. I can't even believe it. I just add it to the vinegar container itself and figure out the ratio. If I've got a gallon bottle, that's great. If it's a half gallon, I'll dilute accordingly. Shake it up, and then I put a 1/4 cup of that in the rinse cycle. And I think that's where you would put the fabric softener. I've been doing that for a long time. As everyone knows out there, a lot of folks know I love my roller figure skating. When I'm doing my gear, I always put that in with my gear, and it comes out smelling natural. No stink whatsoever. I love that. So that's my tip number 2, my rinse aid. And I have an admission to make. I messed up. The vodka is not the dusting spray. So we got to correct ourselves. I apologize. The vodka that's our homemade air freshener. So that's what we're going to be spraying in the air. We are not going to be spraying vodka on our furniture. So please, I stand corrected. That was a mistake I made. And as we wrap up the show today, we want to hit at our 20-minute mark. I'm going to get to what is the actual dusting spray. So again, correction, the vodka spray is our air freshener. The dusting spray is with 3 cups of water, 2 tea bags, and a teaspoon of lemon juice. This is where our fresh cut lemon comes into play, or you can buy bottled lemon juice. Boil those 3 cups of water, dissolve the tea bags in there, your normal time, steep for 2 or 3 minutes, add your lemon juice, and let it cool off. Put that in your spray bottle. That becomes your dusting spray. And again, that's an all-natural spray that's going to work really good on your surfaces. So again, I appreciate you guys watching today. If you like what you saw, please comment below. Be sure to like our channel. Lane and I love to bring you valuable insight for living better, whether you're selling, buying, or staying in your home, which is kind of the theme of this month's show. So again, thanks so much for watching. Let us know what you think. And again, if you like what you saw, please share it. And we'll see you next week. Thanks so much for watching today.